Alright y'all, Benton Homestead has just gotten its first rain in about 3 months, so our garden is looking extra lovely. And today, I'd like to talk to you about peppers. We decided that we're going to kind of specialize in growing peppers here for a few reasons. Firstly, that they're easy to grow in this climate. Second, I really like them. And third, they're hard to find here in Japan, and I really miss Mexican food. So we're going to be growing peppers mainly for the value-added market, which means we're looking for a commercial kitchen where you can prepare them into sauces and shelf-stable products that we can sell over a longer period of time. For the same reason, we planted 40 feet of tomatillos here, which are just starting to kick into full gear. And in front of them, I've also got a row of cilantro that I'll be processing into salsa verde. We're getting a lot of bug damage, so I don't really have any tomatillos to show you yet, but these marigolds behind me are helping with that. Pretty soon though, these plants will be pumping out so many tomatillos that the bugs won't be able to keep up. Tomatillos, cilantro, now all we need is jalapeños. We got some right here. These plants are a little puny because they were overrun with wild tomatoes, so they're just getting started. And I want to mention a priority of mine here, which I think ought to be a priority for more people, which is plant breeding and seed saving. So I did some research into jalapeno varieties, and I found that most of the big ones that you typically see in the US grocery stores are actually hybrids, so those are going to be no good for seed saving. I looked up and found some heirloom varieties that I was able to get here in Japan, and I ordered the seeds. Now these are a lot smaller than the jalapenos you're used to, and of course they'll get bigger as the plants get bigger, but look at the color on them. These are going to make great chipotles. Again, my objective is to find varieties that I like and to save the seed from them. So I've planted 2 varieties of habanero, red and chocolate, and they're just starting to color up, as you can see here. This one fell off before it was ready, but you can see that beautiful color forming. This is a rarer pepper species, Capsicum bacatum. In English, the common name for this one is bishop's hat pepper, and in Japanese they call it the UFO pepper, which I like better. These are great for pickling. They're sweet on the outside, and they're only spicy around the seeds. Here we have some ripe ones. You can see some of them get pretty big. Perfect for stuffing. Very sweet and spicy on the insides, about like a jalapeno. Some of these varieties that I'm trying to grow are coming from dried peppers, and they're not as all what they were supposed to be. So, for example, these are anchos, but they're clearly not. What we've ended up with is just sort of a nondescript medium hot pepper, and while they're all going to get eaten, their bloodline ends here. I can't pass by my chepiche patch without mentioning it. This is a culinary herb from Oaxaca, and I guarantee I'm the only guy in Japan growing it. Here we are at our big pepper field. We've made a few videos about sheet mulching this using cardboard. This is going to be a quick visit because it looks like we're getting some rain again. This field's about a 1/4 acre. We're not using all of it yet. It's raised up about 3 feet from the surrounding rice paddies, so drainage is pretty good. Irrigation is pretty good. We got about 150 plants here, so let's take a closer look. Most of it is planted in these sweet red peppers for drying. I chose 2 varieties, New Mexico and Mirasol, which I understand is sort of a loosey-goosey set of terminology. The New Mexico ones did a lot better, so I'm going to go with those for next year. I'm not sure what the difference is between the varieties is, to be honest. There is a difference, but there's also a lot of difference between individual plants. And here we have Tabasco, queen of the pepper plants. This is a lovely big bush, just starting to come into fruition. Coming from New Orleans, I could never not grow these beauties. Tabascos are unusual in that the stems come away from the fruit, as you can see. The fruits are also very juicy, so these aren't going to be able to be dried. They're going to have to go right into the salt brine. Right into the salt brine. Here we have a whole row of the native hot pepper, the taka no tsume, or hawk's claw. These are compact plants, and the fruits are born in these beautiful little bouquets. One of the downsides is that they're hard to pick, so sometimes it's easiest just to pick the whole bunch. They're on the mild side for a hot pepper. I'd say the flavor is like a cayenne. Alright, now we're back at the ranch. Let's see what we were able to harvest today. I'm not sure if this constitutes a bushel or a peck, but this is about as many sweet peppers as I'm able to harvest in a week, and they're ready for drying. You might have noticed some pumpkin vines growing out there at the pepper field, so I'm not sure I'll continue this experiment again next year, but this is about 40 pounds of pumpkins that I got just this week. Well, thanks for letting me yammer on about peppers. Join us next time on Benton Homestead.